From the station working for you, this is Good Morning Indiana, streaming now.
And thanks for joining us here on Good Morning Indiana. It is 4:27 and I'm Lauren Casey. We have several stories to talk about today before we get into the show. Starting right here in Marion County, we know that there's still health orders in place, especially impacting bars and nightclubs. A lot of those establishments had been closed for weeks and now they're open at very limited capacity with pretty restrictive rules. And so dozens of bar and club owners here in Marion County are filing a lawsuit against the city, saying that under equal protection they are being discriminated against, being called out, as opposed to other types of businesses that have been open a lot longer and don't have as many restrictions. So we're going to be talking to some local business owners. We also got a response from the mayor's office. They don't comment on pending litigation, but they do say they agree with the health orders in place to keep people safe from COVID-19. So a back and forth here right in Indianapolis. We know a lot of bars, restaurants that have been impacted, those may close here in Indianapolis and around the state. So we'll have more on that coming up right here on Good Morning Indiana. Taking a turn now to looking ahead to Halloween. A lot of people wondering, is trick-or-treating still on? Well, we don't have any official ruling here in our communities in the state of Indiana. The Centers for Disease Control did come out and say that they recommend avoiding trick-or-treating, indoor costume parties, and indoor haunted houses. So again, that's the CDC guidance that they just put out. The local guidance before the CDC put this out said that they think we'll be able to do this based on the communities and the spread in those individual communities. So we'll keep you posted here if we get any word from local communities here in the state of Indiana on guidance for this. Hopefully we can find a safe way to make this happen for the kids here in the Hoosier State. All right, Todd, let's talk about our forecast for today. We're officially into fall, so goodbye summer, and it's been a really nice week so far. I don't have any complaints.
Yeah, you know, yesterday was another nice afternoon for us. We had a little bit of that hazy sky from a little bit of that wildfire smoke, but temperatures were really comfortable, especially if you were in the sunshine, even in the evening hours. But it does cool off quick once the sun sets, and that's the case this morning. We're in the 40s and 50s across the area, 48 in Logansport, 50 in Bloomington, 55 in Indy. So as a whole, we're running a little bit warmer this morning than we were yesterday morning. And radar has taken the month of September off pretty much for central Indiana here, and it's quiet again this morning. We'll look for mostly sunny skies this morning, turning a little bit more partly cloudy this afternoon as the remnants of Beta push to our south. No chance of rain, though, in the forecast again for the day today, with a high, Lauren, of 77 degrees.
All right, Todd, thanks so much. We also have a follow-up to a Hiring Hoosier story we did about a Cicero native. She has a really big opportunity, and it could bring a lot of jobs to the Hoosier State. So we'll talk more about Socket Locket, plus news, weather, and traffic here on your Wednesday coming up.
From the station working for you, this is Good Morning Indiana, streaming now.
Now at 4:30, bars and nightclubs in Indianapolis taking a stand against the COVID-19 restrictions. The demands they're making in a lawsuit against the mayor and the city. Remembering a young boy killed by domestic violence, how his family is keeping his memory alive, and what you can do to help bring awareness. And a local entrepreneur is getting a huge opportunity for her new invention, how she could take her socket lockets to the next level and potentially create more Hoosier jobs. But first, here on our Wednesday, I want to thank you for joining us on Good Morning Indiana. I'm Lauren Casey. Our Todd Clausen is standing by with me in the studio this morning. Todd, good morning to you. It is fall officially, and it has been beautiful out there. Dry, but really nice.
Yeah, you know, we obviously could use the rainfall here across central Indiana, but you're right. It has been a pretty nice stretch of weather, Lauren, for any outdoor activities that you want to do, whether it's golfing, walking through the neighborhood, or going for a bike ride on any of the great trails or even state parks here across central Indiana. It's 49 in Terre Haute right now, 55 in Indy, 56 is the current temperature in Muncie, and Bloomington is currently at 50 degrees. And here is the view right now from downtown off towards the west. Skies are mainly clear all across the area. One trend you will notice today that's a little bit different than the past couple days is we'll have a little more in the way of cloud cover starting to build in as the day goes on. And these clouds are part of what's left of Tropical Storm Beta. And look at all this moisture. If only we could get this to come here into central Indiana. That is not going to be the case, though, throughout the day today. So we start off mostly sunny and then turn it partly cloudy throughout the day. Temperatures very similar to yesterday. We'll climb through the 60s with highs eventually topping off in the mid to upper 70s. Lauren.
All right, Todd, thank you so much. Let's take a look at traffic right now as you're heading out on the roads. Here is a live look from our INDOT traffic camera at I-70, a view here near Sherman Drive. Traffic on I-70 on our east side is traveling up to speed both eastbound and westbound. No delays, no construction in that area to slow you down, so that is good news. So let's take you across town. Good morning to you here on the west side. Here's a live look at I-465 and I-74 near Crawfordsville Road. You can see here traffic is pretty quiet, traveling up to speed in all directions. We'll continue to keep a close eye on your roads throughout the morning, let you know if there are any trouble spots you need to avoid. It is 4:32. More than a dozen Indianapolis bars and restaurants are now suing the city and the Marion County Health Department over those imposed COVID-19 restrictions. The suit claims that the public health orders violate the owner's constitutional rights of equal protection under the law by singling out their businesses. Under the latest county order, live entertainment and dancing are not allowed at bars, clubs, or restaurants. All three must close at midnight, but capacity at bars and clubs that is more restricted than restaurants. And bars and clubs had to shut down completely for about 6 weeks over the summer. Ryan Greb, the owner of Taps and Dolls, is part of this suit.
There's not an end in sight, and they don't have an answer for us. Mayor Hogsett wants to keep setting down these rules for us. We keep implementing them, but they seem getting more stringent as we go.
Well, the plaintiffs are asking that the court find the orders unlawful. In a response, a spokesperson for the mayor's office told WRTV the city does not comment on pending litigation. However, he added, quote, Mayor Hogsett fully supports Marion County Public Health Department's leadership and ongoing health orders, which have slowed the spread of the virus in our city and continue to save lives, end quote. Well, the U.S. has now surpassed 200,000 total COVID-19 deaths. Of those, 3,295 have been reported here in Indiana. The Indiana State Department of Health reporting that there were 9 new deaths related to the virus in their latest report. 652 new cases were also confirmed. A total of 112,626 cases have been reported here in the Hoosier State since the start of this pandemic. Notre Dame football will no longer play this Saturday after multiple players tested positive for COVID-19. The athletic department announced that 7 players tested positive Monday. That combined the testing with last week means 13 total players are in isolation. Officials are now in the process of rescheduling this weekend's game against Wake Forest. All Notre Dame football related activities are also on hold until further testing is completed. The Centers for Disease Control is now weighing in on how to safely celebrate Halloween during the pandemic. The CDC recommends that you avoid trick-or-treating, indoor costume parties, and indoor haunted houses. And don't replace your face mask with a costume mask. The agency says that those are all considered high risk. Several health experts, including Indiana's health commissioner, have said recently that they believe that those kinds of activities may be able to go on safely, depending on the circumstances in each community, but that it's too early to give specific guidance. Those comments were made before the CDC issued the recommendations. A deadly fire up in Carroll County is now being investigated as a homicide. This happened Monday on South State Road 29 north of Burlington. Officials found a man and a woman dead, but now the county coroner says it wasn't the fire that killed the woman. Instead, the autopsy report shows that 35-year-old Anna Downham was shot and killed before that fire. The male victim has not been identified but is not believed to be involved in Downham's death. This morning, we are remembering a little boy who lost his life to domestic violence. The family of Jeremiah Williams and the community gather every year in his honor, but the pandemic is causing their annual domestic awareness walk to take on a different form. As WRTV's own Stephanie Wade explains, the message is just as important, if not more important, this year.
With each step,
he was just an amazing child.
They remember.
He was more than a number. He was a person. He had a life. He had joy, excitement.
The Reverend Arthur Sample and his wife Barbara.
We got the opportunity to meet Jeremiah Williams. And in meeting Jeremiah Williams, we had the opportunity to have a sense of growing young again together.
They raised their great-nephew Jeremiah for 8 years.
Once he came into our life, it changed everything.
When he was just 6 months old, Jeremiah's mother asked the Samples to take him because they say she was in an abusive relationship. But in February of 2009, she called to say she was picking Jeremiah up and that he would live with her now. 5 months later, the third grader was shot and killed by his mother's ex-boyfriend when he opened fire on the house.
We know that even as I speak, someone in the world, and even in our city, is being abused even right now.
So every year, to remember his life, they hold a domestic violence awareness walk.
We want to bring awareness to the world to let them know that you don't have to settle for it. You don't have to settle for a situation. There are people that are concerned, that are willing to help. There are places that you can go for help.
But this year, because of COVID, to avoid large crowds gathering, they're doing something a little different. As the samples walk to remember Jeremiah in their annual domestic violence walk, they encourage you to walk in your own neighborhood at home as well.
I want to reach 10,000 miles. That's our goal.
Reaching people they've never reached before.
It's happening in your family. It's happening in families down the street.
To put the ownership on the community to demand better for kids like Jeremiah.
As you're walking, think the things that you can do to help us to make things different, to make a change.
Together as a community.
Every step counts. We're just inviting everyone to take part.
Stephanie Wade, WRTV.
It is 4:38, and we can tell you that walk is happening this Saturday. People can register online and just walk in their own neighborhoods. We have more information and a link to register on our website, WRTV.com.
So the Socket Locket is an adhesive card holder where you can hold up to 1, 2, or 3 cards securely in place.
So you may remember this product and this young entrepreneur from our Hiring Hoosiers series. Katie Gelhausen created the Socket Locket product. It sticks to your phone and allows you to use both a phone grip, and you can also store your cards at the same time. So we traveled up to Elwood in Progressive Plastics, where Hoosiers manufacture her product. Well, now the Cicero native is up for a really big opportunity, and she tells us this could bring even more jobs to the Hoosier state. Katie was selected to pitch her product to buyers at the 2020 Walmart Open Call. This is her big opportunity to get her product made right here in her hometown onto store shelves of this big box retailer. Out of 14,000 applications, Katie's product is now a finalist. We got to catch up with Katie over Zoom about what this means to her and what this pitch could mean for the future of Socket Locket.
Sometimes the buyers do go ahead and make a decision on the spot, but usually the buyer, that's just the starting point of relationship with Walmart. Even like a regional contract, it would be huge for Socket Locket. Hopefully we have a large purchase order, and hopefully we can bring a lot of jobs here to the area.
Well, good luck to Katie. She's going to keep us posted on how this all goes. Her presentation will be on October 1st, and she gets about 30 minutes to pitch her product. If you want to learn more about the Socket Locket and her store, you can visit hiringhoosiers.com. A multi-million-dollar lawsuit filed against the Indiana Department of Child Services. Coming up, why one family believes the agency took their kids under false pretenses. And it's an adult problem that's impacting more children. What experts recommend you do to keep your kids safe from identity theft while they're online. Todd.
And Lauren, the rain is oh so close, but yet so far away as the remnants of Tropical Storm Beta pass just to our south. We'll let you know if any of these showers are going to sneak into central Indiana, and also look ahead to your weekend, which features the warmest temperatures of all in my 7-day planning forecast. It's all coming up when Good Morning Indiana continues right here on WRTV.
Welcome back. The time right now is 4:43 on your Wednesday morning. Let's take a look at traffic for your commute. This is all the way out on I-70 near the Monrovia area, near State Road 39. You can see traffic here is moving along just fine, both eastbound and westbound. Right now, things are traveling pretty smoothly around the metro area and across central Indiana, so it's great news if you're heading out early on this Wednesday morning. Well, a family is filing a multi-million-dollar lawsuit against the Department of Child Services, accusing the agency of tearing apart their family based on false allegations and then dropping the claims. Adam Huff and his wife claim that their 2 children were taken from them in 2018 after a family member falsely accused Adam of sexually abusing their teenage daughter. According to the Huffs, Indiana DCS allowed the minor to be interviewed without a parent present in the investigation. The family was then separated for several months.
When this is all said and done, with every breath of our being, we're going to fight to see that this actually gets reformed somehow, some way, so children are truly being protected.
Well, attorneys for the family say the goal of the lawsuit was to hold DCS accountable and compensate the family for violation of their civil rights and emotional distress. They're seeking $3 million in damages. So we asked DCS to respond to the allegations mentioned in that lawsuit. A spokesperson tells us, quote, state and federal confidentiality laws prohibit DCS from disclosing information, including even if a child is in DCS's care. The agency investigates allegations of abuse and neglect and makes recommendations to the court based on the evidence at hand. DCS is charged with ensuring the safety of Indiana children, whether that is by providing services, support, and resources to maintain the family or remove a child from a home due to abuse or neglect, end quote. At 4:45, as part of the back to school, security experts want more parents to add one more thing to their yearly paperwork checklist, safeguarding your child's identity. So recent studies show that more than 1 million children are impacted each year with losses over $2.6 billion. Yet children are the prime targets because thieves can use their credentials to build credit history over time and then take out loans, open credit cards, and then max them out. It can even take months or years for parents to realize that their kids now have bad credit.
The detection methods that adults use just by engaging in the outside world, those aren't there for children. And the thieves realize that, and they know it can go undetected for long periods of time.
Well, the center says it's never too early to start monitoring your child's identity, teach them cyber safety as they do get older, and how to watch for red flags. If you do get something in the mail for your kid that looks like it should be for an adult, don't write it off as a mistake. The biggest recommendation is to freeze your child's credit. Well, a government shutdown has officially been avoided. Overnight, the House passed a temporary government-wide funding bill. It will keep federal agencies fully up and running into December. It gives lawmakers time to deal with the election and decide if the annual government funding bills should be passed this year or saved for the next administration. The budget year ends next week. Out in California, more than 24 wildfires continue to burn across the state. The Bobcat fire just northeast of Los Angeles has rapidly grown to more than 109,000 acres. The fire has been scorching through the Angeles National Forest since Labor Day holiday weekend, and it's forced a series of evacuations there, including more on Monday. Firefighters had to take a stand and protect the Mount Wilson Observatory, which is surrounded by flames. It holds billions of dollars worth of communications infrastructure. Right now, fire officials say the Bobcat fire is only 17% contained. Back here at home, Todd, let's get a look at our forecast for this Wednesday. I know we could use the rain, but it has sure been nice this week to get outside.
You know, it really has been. It's been a beautiful stretch of weather with low humidity and lots of sunshine. We do need the rain, as you mentioned, Lauren, and there's really just not a whole lot in this forecast. 55 degrees, that's the current temperature. Winds are out of the southwest at 5 miles per hour. The air is a little more saturated now with the southwesterly wind. If you remember back to last week, I was talking about how extremely low the humidity was at this time in the morning when we were down in the 40% range. So we're back up a little closer to normal with some moisture out there, and that's due to some of the cloud cover that's in. This is your wildfire smoke indicator, and Lauren just talked about some of those wildfires. We had that haze out there yesterday. Today we'll have a little bit as well. It's not terrible once again today, and things will start to improve as we go forward in this forecast. But if you just kind of notice a little bit of a hazy sky compared to more of a bright blue sky, that is the reason why. Temperatures are in the 40s here this morning in Terre Haute, as well as Greencastle, Greenfield, and Richmond. So not much of a difference there as you travel the length of I-70 through Indiana, with the exception of right in the metro area where it's 55, 50 in Bloomington, 53 in Peru. So as we work our way throughout the day today, just like the past couple days, we'll start off with mostly sunny skies. Temperatures will jump out of the 50s and into the 60s by the time we get to 10 a.m. The noontime temperature is 71 degrees, mid-70s for your afternoon highs today as we start to go from what we'll call mostly sunny to eventually partly cloudy across the area, with those high temperatures in the 76 to about 80-degree range. But you do notice a little bit in the way of cloud cover starting to stream into central Indiana, and this is part of the remnants of Tropical Storm Beta, which still is spinning near Houston, but the moisture extends all the way up to the north. And some computer models here are trying to bring in a few spotty showers in southern locations here throughout the afternoon and into the evening hours. I just simply don't think this is going to happen. Radar may show some showers trying to come in here, but the air is just so dry that anything that does try to fall, I think, unfortunately, is just going to evaporate. So we'll just call for a mostly cloudy evening across the area. Sunset is at 7:40, and then for the day tomorrow, Cataract Falls, that's an old picture. I guarantee it's not running that fast right now. And as we go throughout the day tomorrow, partly cloudy skies to start, and then decreasing clouds as the day goes on, as the remnants from Beta move out. And then notice the warming trend that takes place. We're up to 80 on Friday. Low 80s on Saturday. That's the warmest day of the week. And on Sunday, a few spotty showers with the passage of a cold front. And then much cooler air starts to work in. Look at that high temperature. By the time we get to the middle of next week, Lauren, it's really going to start to feel like fall with highs only in the mid-60s.
All right, Todd, thank you. Let's take a look right now at traffic as you're heading out there on the roads this morning for your Wednesday. This is a live look at I-465, a little south of I-74 there on the southeast side of town. Here you can see traffic is moving along up to speed. It's pretty quiet out there this morning, so that is good news. Let's take a look now in the downtown area, I-65 and I-70 at the north split. Looks like we do have a vehicle there in the shoulder of the road. No word on what this is, but it looks like police are at the scene and traffic is still getting by in the ramp system just fine. So use caution and take it slow as you head past the people there on the side of the road. So NASA is unveiling plans to send the first woman to the moon. The space agency says they plan to land a woman and a man on the moon in 2024. It would be the first time humans have landed on the lunar surface since 1972. The astronauts would spend nearly a week collecting samples and conducting experiments. It would also allow for the development of the Artemis base camp, which would be the long-term moon missions. The plan will cost about $28 billion. Back here on the ground, Elon Musk is promising a more affordable Tesla. He says the company is reviewing battery improvements to create a $25,000 electric car. It would also drive fully autonomously, but the sensors there can be expensive. Musk says it would be ready in about 3 years. Tesla also announced that it's taking some orders for the new 3-motor Model S with the Plaid mode. It costs $140,000 and it's set to be delivered by the end of next year. New hearts and new hairdos. After the break, a look at the new emojis coming to your phone next year. And if you are voting absentee this election and already received your ballot, you'll want to take a really close look at it before sending it back in. Coming up new at 5, we'll show you the error that you need to watch out for. It is 4:51. Stick around. We'll be right back. Welcome back. The time right now is 4:55. Here's a live look at your commute down in Johnson County. Good morning to you in Greenwood. This is a live look at the Main Street exit. You can see traffic moving on I-65 is traveling smoothly northbound and southbound. No delays, no crashes in that area to slow you down. We'll continue to keep an eye on your roads this Wednesday morning and let you know if there are any trouble spots you should avoid. So listen up, you'll soon have some new emojis to choose from. The Unicode Consortium announced that it's releasing more than 200 animated figures. They include a bandaged heart and a heart surrounded by flames, which can either refer to heartbreak or heartburn. There's also 3 variations of a gender-neutral character. The nonprofit originally said it didn't plan to release the new emojis in 2021 due to the pandemic. The new emojis are expected to be available sometime between January and October of next year. All right, Todd, I've started using the emojis, the little fall leaves, the orange and black hearts. Right. I mean, we're getting into fall here.
Yeah, pretty soon the pumpkin emoji.
Right.
And everything. Yeah, you know, it's going to start to feel like fall the middle of next week. That's kind of a hint. And you see that there in the middle or the end of your 7-day planning forecast there, how we go from 83 and very summer-like on Saturday. Even Sunday, we're still at 81 to temperatures only in the mid-60s by Tuesday. Next best chance of rain will be the passage of that cold front on Sunday. At this point, it doesn't look like a ton of rain, so don't cancel any plans. The better chance of rain is probably with a second push of cooler air that is going to come in late Monday and then into the day on Tuesday, bringing in those cooler temperatures. The time now is 4:57. This is Good Morning Indiana. You're watching right here on WRTV. Stay with us. We're back in just a couple minutes.